Half Shell Oyster House offers happy hour at the bar and throughout the restaurant every day from 3 to 6 p.m. Happy hour includes $2 off all glasses of wine, liquor, martinis, mixed drinks, and draft beer, $2.50 on all domestic bottled beer, and $3.50 on all craft bottled beer. So come on out to Half Shell Oyster House, located at 115 Lower Park Cove, Suite 105, Flowood, Mississippi 39232, or you can give them a call at 769-257-7586. And hey, tell them Sonia sent you.
She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia, and welcome back to She Say Sports. We are back for week 8 of the NFL. Please welcome back former NFL players Cedric Donaldson and Jameion Spencer. Hey guys, how are you?
Good. So how are you?
I am well. Welcome back. However, before we get started, I need to know how much candy tax did y'all receive from your kids after their Halloween haul?
Get rickrolled.
Oh man, that's like a 50% candy tax in my house. Look, 50%. Look, as soon as you step in the door, I got to take half that bag for myself.
Hey, even the kids that came to the door with candy, want candy, I gave some, I took some. I'd be like, hey, I give you this. You gotta
That's
take
not
that.
how it works.
Hey man, it's got a bargain, man.
Goodbye. So, okay, well, Jameion, did you get because oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You mix me.
So Jameion,
Well,
did you get anything like chocolate with almonds that you can bring to work to me tomorrow?
I'm sure I do. I can go through that and set it up. And if I don't, I'll go rob theirs.
Don't rob my babies. Please don't rob my babies. That's cool. Oh, before we get started, look at my new She Say sports shirt for the girls. Y'all like it?
Yeah. That's pretty sweet, man.
That's nice. That is nice.
So I also have one for the guys now. We did a photo shoot on Sunday. So y'all got to get y'all wives one, and then y'all got to get y'all's too. So I just need sizes and all that good stuff. So cool.
Gotta get it.
All right.
I'm a big dude, man. I need an extra large.
Goodbye.
I need that super medium. That's medium.
You're so silly. Well, let's get started. You know, we got 1,000 games. But Thursday night was a game for the books. The Packers versus Cardinals, Both teams were 7-1. However, Aaron, I got Jesus, eyes like Jesus, Rodgers, and his team, they pulled it out. What did they? 24-21. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Packers were down 7-0 for the 4th time in their last 5 games and have won each of 4 such games. Kyler Murray is the 5th quarterback in NFL history with 50-plus pass touchdowns and 1,500-plus rush yards in their first 3 seasons. Jameion, what you got? I mean, whose man is this? How can we stop Aaron?
I told you at the beginning of the season.
You said it.
Aaron had some tricks for everybody. Look, he is one of those dudes that are built differently, right? You know, and as great as I love watching the Cardinals and Kyler Murray, and I love watching those guys on the field having fun, I think the biggest difference in this league is how to win and how to close games, right? Even though they had a chance to win that at the end, you can't ever discount Aaron Rodgers, and he loves it when the odds are stacked against him, and that kind of fuels his fire. It's kind of that thing that Tom Brady has, that Aaron Rodgers has, that they love being the underdog. So
Right.
Again, as much smack as everybody talked about how unfocused and how he didn't want to be there, but he's a different dude, man. And look, he's putting his staple on this season, and we're gonna look for some more things from him.
He's a true competitor, that's for sure. That is definitely for sure. Seth?
Yeah, man. The man told us years ago, relax. You know what I mean? I've been a believer ever since, man. On my list of quarterbacks, I know Tom is the GOAT, man, but the best quarterback playing today, I think, is Aaron Rodgers, man.
I agree.
And hey, man, I don't know what to say about him, man. He was down every, I think, first, second, and third wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, when you're throwing it like he's throwing it, man, it's just like those cats had Velcro on them. It didn't even matter. You couldn't miss.
Man.
Yeah, you couldn't miss.
I'm a huge fan, so I just love watching. And look here, man, I like Kyler Murray too, and I was cheering for Kyler Murray to win now. I wanted Kyler to win it, but I knew better.
Well, they almost did. I mean, until Jesus' eyes got on the scene. I mean, golly, it's just I don't understand. But that was a good game. So let's move on to our weekend games. And this year, what happened this year on the weekend? Come on now.
Halloween.
Well, Halloween?
Yeah, so
free candy.
Trick or treat in.
So I had to do that. I'm so corny. So yeah, this year it fell on a weekend. However, Halloween Day was definitely an any given Sunday kind of day. Started off with this upset, the Jets over the Bengals, 34-31. Shaq Lawson intercepted in the fourth quarter his interception in the fourth quarter was the first for the Jets this season. Entering week 8, the New York Jets were the only team without a defensive interception this season. Joe Burrow has joined Hall of Famer Dan Marino as the only second-year quarterbacks in the Super Bowl era with 2+ pass touchdowns in each of their team's first 8 games of the season. Said the Jets was your team. What say you?
Hey man, the ref saved the Jets. Like,
you just would not give them any credit whatsoever.
Hey man, they did play. They played well, and I mean Mike White. I gotta, because I thought it was over. Like once Zach is out, I thought it was over, man. But no, man, they've been playing pretty well.
Yeah.
As I go back and watch them, because this is the only game I actually watched them in the present moment because I was watching Joe Burrow. So I had to watch, but the call at the end of the game, man, overshadowed the whole game for me. Like now I can't even give the Jets the little respect that I wanted to give them because the ref stepped in and called a targeting on a play where the DB was the one that actually got targeted. So, I mean, it was a good game. But I really wanted to see what Joe Burrow was going to do in that last drive because that was a third down. They gave him a first down. So, we'll see.
So no love to the Jets. Okay, Jameion, go ahead.
So yeah, I don't think it's I don't think this game was so much of an upset as it was just really good football being played. I think we as much as we want to definitely have a lot of respect for Joe Burrow and the Bengals team. I mean, I think they're a different team than they have been historically, right? Not that streaky, come and go type fire, but you can really see some consistent play from them. So I think they're still going to be a good team and somebody to deal with in the AFC. But I really got to give credit to Robert Saleh and his staff, man. I'm not ready to jump on the Jets bandwagon, but I like the way they're playing. I mean, they're competing every game, and and I can tell you from a fan perspective, that's what I want to see from my team. And forget the wins, forget the losses, man. Just give me a place to stand, and that is what is going to help create that culture. We talked about that they need, I think, to really jumpstart getting them where they want to go in the future.
I agree. Yeah. Well, it was weird seeing them win. I mean, because it hadn't been a lot. I was shocked. I was like, wow.
Hey, but the 2 wins that they do have, they beat, well, I think they've only won 2 games, right? But they beat Tennessee, and now they beat Cincinnati, and they played other people close. So I
So
mean, it's
they're
there.
they're like the Mississippi Valley of NFL, because Valley
Yeah,
is really,
right
really
now.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valley is. I've been telling people they're really good, but okay, I'm back. I'm back. We'll talk about Jackson State later. Next up, we have the Titans over the Colts, 34-31. Derrick Henry has 50 plus rush yards in 33 straight games. Only Priest Holmes had a longer streak since 1950, which were 38 games. Carson Wentz I'm sorry. Carson Wentz interception, in OT was his second of the game. Wentz had 0 interceptions in 5 straight games previously. Jay, you're up.
Yeah. So, this, as much as you hate to see a horse like Derrick Henry go down, but looking at how those guys rebounded and battled, again, I looked at Quentin Nelson and those dudes battling with that D line the way they were. I really think Carson Wentz needs to calm down. For whatever reason, he became hyperactive and really kind of really jittery at the wrong time in that game, especially late in the third, early fourth, when they really had a chance to kind of get control of the game and the flow of the game. He started to kind of unravel a little bit, and I didn't understand why. And I know that's something Frank Wright and those guys are going to work out, but really Tennessee, we really wanted to see them have a more dominating performance. I think they had some flaws exposed for them, but for them, I think Tannehill is going to have to step it up a little bit more. I think that core of receivers they have are going to have to actually bring an identity to the game from here on out, because now, you're not going to have Derrick Henry back there to really lean on to kind of help set the pace for the game. So it may be a chance for Tennessee to be a make or break type game for them for the rest of the year.
Interesting. Seth?
I think it's over for Tennessee, man. Tannehill ain't gonna do it unless they can get a big back end, something
AP.
like
They bring in AP.
Yeah.
Look,
if they bring in AP. I think he still got it.
Yeah.
He's an agent's wonder. But
AP is a special one. Yeah.
Seeing Derrick go down, as soon as I saw it, I was like, hey man, this is, as soon as I heard it or whatever, I said, man, this is over, man. But I watched that whole game, watching our boy Quentin Nelson. That's that's my guilty pleasure. Yeah, I'm a lineman at heart. I'm a guard in a golfer's body. But man, it was a good game. Came down to the end. Carson did stink it up toward the end. Well, he really didn't have to, man. But
No.
He's I know they say he was a winner at North Dakota and all that kind of stuff, but it's a different level of winning in the NFL when you got all these dogs around you and you want to show that you participating, and you end up doing too much.
Interesting. Okay. Next, we have the Rams over the struggling Texans, 38-22. The Rams are 41-0 when leading at halftime since 2017. The Texans are 0-15 when trailing at halftime since 2020. The most losses without a win in that span. Said it was reported that the Texans would like to trade Deshaun Watson, but are prepared to keep him. Owner Cal McNair wants to trade Watson, but the owner is leaving the decision to GM Nick Caserio, who has held firm in his desire for a premium package of picks and players. What does all this mean? Just let the man go.
They want to get some from him for him when they let him go, but they don't know. The NFL hadn't made a decision yet, so it's hard for somebody to offer something for somebody, and then you don't know what you're getting. So I think that's the hold up right there. But speaking, I don't watch the Texans. I try not to, at least, especially not this year. But the Rams just made the biggest move of anybody in the NFL by getting Von Miller.
Yes, sir.
I don't know
Yes, sir.
Dude, they about to kill some people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look.
I was hype about my Cowboys until I saw that. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
So now my goal for the Cowboys is just just to win a playoff game, man. I'm hoping that we don't have to play the Rams nowhere near the early part of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jay?
look, I'm the same. I was going to go the opposite, in terms of, LA. I think, we're really looking at, I think, a special team kind of coming together. And, like you said, when they announced Von Miller was going to LA, I heard Aaron Donald scream across the country, man. I mean, look, that is a scary front five that they've got up there. When you talk about just being able to take over a game at any moment, that is because Vaughn got a lot in the tank, right? Vaughn and Aaron got a lot going on in the tank. So, defensively, we know they're going to bring it. But I love right now the way Matt Stafford is playing. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Look, for the big army he's had, and the injury he's had, man, we can see what happens when he keeps his uniform clean. These quick throws, this offense, it's almost like, Sean McVay was waiting for the opportunity to get a QB like him. And, I love the way he is whipping the rock right now. And, to watch him spin it and getting back into some of those old Georgia days, man, kind of becomes very remnants of the young Matt Stafford that was, launching those 65, 70-yard bombs off his back foot, so they're a scary, scary team to be able to see here in the future. But that was I'm very interested to see what happens when Vaughn and Aaron kind of figure it out. It's gonna be something.
Who do you double? Who do you double team?
Sean McVay, the bench.
They're about to kill somebody, man. But this is what makes my heart smile. Now, Jalen Ramsey, he's never been known for a big, INT guy. He's just a great cover guy or whatever. But if I played corner on this team, I would never backpedal. I'll play 8 yards off, flat foot. The ball is coming out fast. I'll lead the nation.
That's true. Well, I'm wishing Von Miller well. I really like him as a player, and I think that may be a good fit for him. So it's gonna it's gonna be real nasty. Anybody that play him, so
real.
That's gonna be nice. Okay, next we have the Steelers over the Browns, 15-10. Big Ben has won each game this season when throwing 0 interceptions, lost each game with 1+ interceptions. Myles Garrett has surpassed his own record, his own record 10 in 2019 for the most sacks among Cleveland players in the first games of a season since at least 1982. Jameion, what you got?
I got beef. I'm gonna tell you, I got beef. I got beef because, as much as we want to talk about, Roethlisberger and his play, and it's just okay at best.
Yeah.
But I feel like, Mike Tomlin really has taken the conversation. I don't know what he was thinking about calling that fake field goal that, had his kicker ended up in the concussion protocol. It's certain things you expect from certain coaches, and that was not one of them from Mike. And
right.
I'm wondering if he just did that to really take the heat off of Ben at this point. Maybe give everybody off of him. But I've got a lot of beef, but. Even despite them pulling it out 15-10, really the Steelers' way, I didn't think it was more of the Steelers winning the game as much as Cleveland gave it away to them, right? Mm-hmm. Even on the other side of the ball, when you go Cleveland, I get it that there's some distraction there with OBJ and Baker and all that stuff, but dude, you got 2 horses in the stable, in your backfield. You got a defense that's flying around like no other. Feed them at this point. I really felt like both teams did everything they could to lose the game, and it was just a matter of who had the ball last, right? So.
No, you lose. No, you lose.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey man, but look here, Cleveland is an up and coming team. I guess I can still say they're up and coming because they haven't won anything yet. They got everything you want. If OBJ is a problem, get him out of there. for Mike Tomlin, man, he's gonna have to make a decision, man. He can't let Big Ben just keep hanging around like this, man, because they're supposed to lose that game. Big Ben, and everybody's like, well, what is Mike Tomlin gonna do now that Big Ben is, he's gonna go to college? What kind of sense does that make?
No.
You're gonna leave the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the best organizations ever in history, to go to college because your old Hall of Fame quarterback is deciding to leave. So I don't know, man. That game, everybody was just trying to give the W to the other team. Once I was hoping Cleveland would have done what they needed to do to win that game, because Pittsburgh has always been one of the teams that just step on Cleveland like every year. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. So I thought Cleveland was going to be able to, get out of that shadow with this win, but nah, they still the same Cleveland. They got a little bit more growing up to do.
Yeah, like you said, they got a little more growing up. Go ahead, Jamie.
Look, I was kind of hoping that Mike will go ahead and put what's Pittsburgh's backup QB that had to fight with Myles Garrett two years ago that got him kicked out the league. Mason
Rudolph.
Rudolph, there you go. Look, I was hoping they would just put him in there just so we could have something entertainment to cheer for at that point, but it didn't happen.
Rudolph probably somewhere even looking at Myles Garrett give him flashbacks.
Right.
No more parts of that.
No more
parts.
I don't want that smoke now.
Well, I don't, Tomlin is definitely loyal to Ben, or is it the front office? I don't know, but I'm like you, it's time for them to make a decision and make it soon, because it's pretty much over for him. Just let it go, bro. Let it go.
Yep.
The Eagles over winless Lions 44-6. Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback since 1950 with 30-plus rush yards in each of their first 12 career starts. The Lions have scored fewer than 20 points in 7 straight games, their longest streak since 1999 to 2000. Said, what say you? I feel sorry for them like every week.
Who, the Lions?
Yeah.
Oh, they deserve it. They deserve everything they're getting right now.
Oh.
Like, hey, this is what I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for Jalen Hurts, man.
Why?
Because he'll have a good game like this, and everybody
He only wins when it's bad teams.
I know, and everybody will blow him up. But he is a winner now. I'm not taking this away from him.
Yeah,
he's gonna figure out ways. If you're a bad team, he will beat you almost by himself.
To death.
Yeah. But I feel bad for him, man, because they blow him up, and then they play a great team that's not gonna let you run, and they know that his passing is mediocre, and then everybody want to crap on him. Like, he is what he is, and he showed you this through. I like him. I mean, he could be on my team. He's a winner. They just gotta do more for him, man, to put him in better situations. I ain't gonna say do more for him. They gotta let him be him in these big games, man, and quit trying to make him what he's not, which is a pocket passer.
Yeah, I'd completely agree. I mean, we really want to see Jalen establish that identity, right? We want to see him do the things that we've been used to watching him win, in certain parts of his career. I thought this was definitely the week that we could have seen him really develop a game, but rather he went back to those default tools that, like you said, I mean, they're going to get the job done. They're going to blow the stat book up, but yet they aren't going to develop him for what's up and coming down the road, So when he plays at the Tampa Bays and the Buffaloes and all those guys, now what happens, right? What part of that Jalen are we going to see develop, or are we going to see him regress?
Yep.
That's true.
Hey, but the Detroit Lions, they deserve everything they get.
Yeah. Tell Calvin Johnson to get that curse off of them, man.
Yeah, man.
I love him.
Barry and Calvin.
Right. Well, they're toothless for sure. I'm talking about, good night. They can't catch a break either. Well, this was a heartbreaker for me. 49ers over my Bears, 33-22. We were hanging in there, but they got the best of us in the fourth quarter. Elijah Mitchell is the first 49ers rookie with 100+ rush yards in 2 straight games since Billy Kilmer in 1961. Justin Fields is the first Bears quarterback with 175+ pass rush yards and 100+ rush yards in a game since at least 1950. He actually had a really good game.
He did.
He needs some help. Jay, what you say?
So, I think the help he needs is getting rid of Matt Nagy. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes.
Get him somebody.
And I wish him well. He done got COVID now, but I want him gone. But go ahead.
Yeah. I thought it was a chance for us to maybe, kind of see something evolve from that whole thing. But I really think he needs to get a guru behind him, somebody that's going to focus on him, and not just from, that perspective where you're trying to systemize a QB, but you're really trying to take advantage of the QBs and develop him and work with him the way he needs to be. I think Justin got to learn to win in this league, right? Because again, he's have some tools and some things that are working. Of course, in the NFL, it's not for long. So, it's never going to be fast enough. And hopefully he'll get the time to get that experience under his belt that he can figure out now how to win in a lot of these games, because I thought he really should have been blowing the 49ers out, because just enough Jimmy, he's another one that I'm finished with. I'm finished with.
You done with him?
I'm done with him. Done. I mean, he kills you. Just enough Jimmy, man. It's like, he comes out and he's like this big, shiny, brand new Ferrari, and you jump in it, you rev it up, and it's got all of the sounds, and then you hit the gas and that baby just shuts off like nothing.
Yeah,
you don't get nothing from him. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they need to get Justin a running back too, man. Like, I know his normal running back got hurt, but he played good though.
He really did.
Yeah. I enjoyed watching him, man. But San Francisco, yeah, I want to blame it on Jimmy too, man. But you got Trey Lance. Just put him out there. I mean, I think he'll do a better job. He'll give you more explosiveness. I think Jimmy needs to go back to, well, not now, because New England has their quarterback, but yeah. I don't know what Jimmy need to go into modeling, man.
There you go. Look.
Well, he just said he's like a pretty Ferrari.
He cute.
Don't let Jimmy just go back to
he
model.
is really cute. I can see him as a model.
I'd buy it. Whatever it is, I'd buy it.
Somehow, this Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. Hey.
I can see that. He said he needs to be a model.
Hey, but I want Chicago to do something, man, with Nagy. He needs to go, man. He's not helping that kid become who he needs to be, man. So just don't get Nagy.
On another note, my other Chicago team, my Bulls, are balling.
Now I'm all about that.
Baby, we balling. I think we won 8 straight. We doing it.
Ballin'.
That was a good game last night.
Yeah. Hey, man. And they winning in all kind of different fashions too, man.
Yes.
So,
I don't want to get too excited. I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't said anything. I've been doing it on my sports page, but I haven't said anything on my personal page about it, because I just don't want to get let down. I'm just like, I'm gonna wait. I mean, we're early in the season. We got 82 games, so I'm gonna wait.
But the only thing that can hurt them is because they're winning they're winning with the fundamentals of basketball.
Yes,
so it's hard to, unless somebody get hurt. Like this, it is what it is. Now, I mean, they're a small team, so if somebody coming in and play bullet ball with them, we have to see, especially in a series, to see if they can survive that. Mm-hmm. But they're gonna win a whole lot of games this year, and I'm gonna talk trash the whole way.
I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna give it a few more weeks, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, we really like doing it. So I'm sorry, we're talking football. I'm back.
Yeah.
Cheating on football. I can't believe y'all.
Because basketball is my favorite sport. I love the way they dribble up and down.
I love basketball, but I'm gonna watch basketball after February. After February. Look,
That's
I don't even know how to spell
love
LeBron.
that oh.
Hey,
You-
hey
that's
man,
my favorite sport.
we've been so deprived as Bull fans, though, man.
I
Like,
know. I'm
it's
like,
ridiculous.
jeez, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm back.
Hey.
Up next, we have the Panthers over the Falcons, 1913. Oh, that's when we went over. I'm sorry. I mean, that's when we were founded, 1913. The Panthers had, the Panthers had 203 rush yards, their most in a game since week 5 in 2019. Deion Jones has 10 plus tackles for the 21st time in his career.
LSU.
Keith Brooking had 29, has more such games among Atlanta players since at least 2000. You know, they had won too. I thought they was gonna do it. I mean, what's up?
No. Look, Atlanta got the D, and like I said, Deion gets out there, he does his thing. He got him another casualty. When he got Sam Darnold learned to get on the ground. Look, grown ass man out there, he gonna learn to get on the ground. But Matty Ice, that whole offense has got to be revamped, man. You got one hell of a player in Kyle Pitts, but he's he got to have somebody to get it to him, and and they're just dysfunctional all the way around. I'm sure Arthur Blank is dreaming up something right now, but he's got to figure out something quick as to what he's going to do with that offense from a personnel perspective, to really give them the spark that they need. They've got to gut it.
Yeah. I think what happened to him, man, like back in the days, they were drafting all these players that needed to be schemed for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And now it's hard. Some of them are gone, but you still got most of them that needs a scheme. And it's hurting them right now. But let me tell you this: I was supposed to be at that game. Had a friend that had an extra ticket, and I got up. I told my wife I was going, and she's like, "Cool," but I forgot Sunday was Halloween.
Oh,
yeah. So when I told the kids, my little daughter looked at me like, "It's Halloween, fool."
Yeah, what's wrong with you? What you thinking about?
Like, what's good, dude? Do you know what today is?
What's wrong with you?
Hey, so I almost got killed on that, man. It was
you would have been the worst father ever
in the world, man. And then I'd have been going to that game and wouldn't even been worth it. Oh man, it'd have been bad. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. That was one of those games. The Panthers are starting to crumble too, and it took an Atlanta, to help them get back on their feet. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I thought, I was like, okay, y'all rolling 2 in a row, but yeah, not so much. Next we have the Bills over the Dolphins, 26-11. Josh Allen is 7-1 in his career versus the Dolphins, more than twice the amount of wins than his next closest opponent. I can't pronounce his name. He just that should be his last name.
Tua.
No. I can say Tua, but I can't say his last name. Tua has surpassed Cleo Lemon for the second most rush touchdowns among Dolphin quarterbacks in their first 2 seasons. Sad, what you think?
You just said Tua surpassed Cleo Lemon.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. That's where you got to go to find some positives with the.
When you got to go that deep, it's some problems. Look, you might as well just start giving you uniform color suggestions at this point.
Well,
I mean,
dirty.
we might start just look.
Hey man, hey, it's bad, man. It's bad down there.
Dude, look, we just might want to go ahead and bring Uncle Luke into this conversation. And,
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hey.
Don't let me hear no music.
Hey, hey man, but look at me.
Uncle Luke.
Hey, this downfall started.
Oh gosh.
It started a while back. Like I like Flores, but I don't think Flores understand that this is the NFL, man. You got grown men in the locker room, right? Yep. And so he had problems with a couple players. That was during Cap, the kneeling stuff, and I think that was Kenneth Stills, and he ended up playing some music to try to, to egg Kenneth Stills on or whatever while he was in the locker room. And then you had last year, you had Fitzmagic leading the team, everything's going well, and now you wanted to cut his legs out from under, and you throw Tua in there. Well, Tua is a mild-mannered guy, so you take a personality like Fitzmagic, and you try to replace him with Tua, and I just think he destroyed the whole culture of the locker room there, man. So I don't know if they're gonna ever get it back, man. And I want him. I think he's a good coach, but he's not a good leader.
Yeah. I would absolutely agree. I've been a little surprised by Brian Flores' his tactic so far, because everybody knows. I mean, people who've been in and out of the Dolphins organization can tell you that it is a veteran culture that thrives on guys understanding what the ultimate goal is, right? So it's not like you really have to come in there and do a lot from a cultural perspective. What they need is somebody to concentrate on ball. And I really kind of expected Flores to be more of a ball technician because he came out of the New England organization. Belichick, I mean, the witch doctor, right?
Yeah.
So I really expected him to be more along that technical expertise and not dibbling dabbling into personnel issues. Let me put it that way. And it becomes more of a distraction. But we love Tua. I think Tua is a fantastic talent. I don't think Tua is a starting QB at this point.
Yeah.
He's a trick pony, right?
Yeah.
He becomes extremely predictable in pressure situations, and at the same time, he's fragile. We can say what we want, but he's fragile. When he starts taking hits, he technically is not there. And like you said, when I look at a guy like Fitzpatrick, I mean, and he ain't nothing but warrior. He has nothing to lose, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think they need leading that organization from that position right now.
Yeah, he Fitzpatrick went with Flores, or Flores could be who he want to be if he had a Fitzpatrick. The quarterback is the biggest thing in the room.
Yep.
And now you got a meek like quarterback or whatever, and you got this big personality. It ain't working. They need to figure it out.
That's true. Yeah, I hope they do. I like Tua. I agree.
But Buffalo is who we thought they were. They legit.
Cool. Yeah.
Love Buffalo.
Yeah,
Look,
y'all been saying it, this whole time.
hey, I wasn't even looking at Buffalo as really, I really just want to see Buffalo get into division right now. I just want to see how deep this thing goes, because I honestly think Buffalo's going to end up in AFC Championship. Honestly, I mean they're a good team. They're a very good team.
They're really good. They are. Next, we have the Patriots winning a nail biter over the Chargers, 27-24. That was a good game.
Yeah.
Adrian Phillips intercepted in the fourth quarter, was his second of the game and his fifth in 2 seasons with the Patriots. The Patriots shut out the Chargers 45-0 in week 13 in 2020, and the largest win by any team in the last 2 seasons, and the worst loss in Los Angeles history. Jay, you up?
Look, speaking of the witch doctor, I don't know how many times we can, really pay compliments to Bill Belichick's football IQ. It amazes me that as much talent as there is in the NFL, he finds a way to make very good players and good teams do the things that they don't want to do. Right? Play the games they don't want to play. And it amazes me. He does it day in and day out, week in and week out, with different personnel, right? He is a plug and play type organization, but he is one of these guys that, he has a pattern. He has a blueprint. His biggest, I think the biggest compliment you can pay any coach is that I don't think there's a person that makes as many adjustments throughout the game as Bill Belichick on the floor. He does not wait for things to happen. He makes them happen. And as a result, man, it makes the game a hell of a lot slower and a hell of a lot smoother for anybody inside of those starting positions right now that are playing with New England. So, you know, hats off to New England because, you know, Justin Herbert is fantastic, right?
Super legit.
But he really made him look mediocre, right? He really made him look average. And despite what he was playing, he really made Justin think twice, if not three times, about, you know, pulling the trigger a lot of times. And I mean, and that just defeated San Diego's ability to go down the field.
Would you consider him, because he is a football genius, would you consider Bill Belichick like the Phil Jackson of football, or?
No, because see, I think Phil Jackson. So, you know, when you talk about the Bulls, you know, the dynasty, I think Phil Jackson was the player, the personnel Zen guru. Tex Winters was that technical expertise, right?
Exactly.
So
Gotcha,
for
okay.
me, Bill Belichick is Tex Winters, right? You know, he is Tex as a head coach.
I got you.
And, you know, because I don't think Bill cares who's there as long as you're ready mentally to do and execute, right?
Yeah.
You know, and he takes a lot of those guys and you can see them process a lot of material very quickly. And, you know, and that just helps to fortify his system because his system is complicated. His system is complex. But at the same time, they aren't thinking about what happens next, man. These guys are just reacting to what the man next to him is doing. And it's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful.
It really is. Sad.
What's real funny, man, I had this guy arguing with me about Bill Belichick, saying that he's not as great as, you know, whatever without Tom Brady. And he keeps saying like, hey, he's 2-4, or he's whatever his record was at the time, right? But that's a sign of a good coach. He's not worried about what you're talking about. But his team, they might be losing, but they're losing real close games to real good teams. Like they lost to Tampa Bay. They barely lost to the Cowboys. Now, who's that beat them? Did the Jets get on them? No, that wasn't the Jets.
No.
They beat the brakes out the Jets. Somebody else got on them. But it really doesn't matter because he has a process and they're doing what he, you know, want them to do. He can see the improvement. And like Jay was saying, man, he don't wait to halftime or for you to get to the sideline to make adjustments. He make adjustments after the play. You know?
Look, and you don't even know why.
Yeah. Which is why Cam Newton had a hard time, you know, dealing with that.
Oh, okay.
And not saying that you know, Cam learned 1,000 offenses in the NFL, right? Matt came in as a blank slate.
And that's different.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. Now you don't have to forget all the stuff that Cam had to forget
right.
in order to be in there. You know, he's just learning right now.
And not saying that he couldn't learn, but he needed him to catch on quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And so while these people are laughing, I'm like, hey man, this guy's getting better and better. You're not gonna want to see them at the end of the year. Without if no injuries or anything like that occur. It's gonna be bad, man.
Yeah. Week 12 through 16 is gonna be hell for a schedule.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah. So and the Chargers are a real good team. So they're gonna be making noise too. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the Seahawks came back with the win against the Jaguars, 31-7. The Seahawks are 4-0 at home versus Jaguars in franchise history. The Jaguars have allowed 17 different 100-yard receivers since 2020, most in the NFL. What you guys said?
I was just so happy for Geno, man. Lord have mercy, man. Please let that man win a game. Hey, it was the Jaguars, man. I was kind of, you know, I was hoping Trevor Lawrence would have kept on his trajectory or whatever. But you know, the Seahawks got a good defense, man. They really made it hard for the youngin out there, man. So I was happy for Geno, man.
Yeah. They you know, I'm still, trying to believe in Trevor Lawrence. You know, I mean, I don't think he played extremely bad. You know, he was still cool and calm. You know, he was still probably a little too calm because, you know, you want to see him kind of, you know, get a little more emotional than he is. And I'm not going to say they're distracted or don't care. I'm just hoping that right now he's learning, you know, and getting better along. And like you said, you know, I mean, Seattle's going to bring D. Seattle's going to bring some hits. They're going to knock you around. They're going to talk a little smack to you. But at the same time, they play hard. They play very sound ball. And, you know, when Jamal Adams, the way he roams around back there, I mean, you know, it makes it tough. It makes it tough for a young QB to really put his staple on the game, you know. So, you know, hopefully the developmental cycle, the upside is yet to come. But I think as an organization, Urban, that whole staff, Charlie Strong, love you to death, but man, we got some work to do. We got a lot of work to do.
A lot of work.
Yep.
A lot of work. Said, did you already go? Yeah. Next we have the Broncos over Washington 17-10. The Broncos have allowed 13 or fewer points in each of their 4 wins this season. The football team, that's so dumb. I hate saying it. The football team is 4-13 versus non-divisional opponents since 2020. Jay, what you got?
Again, I watch Washington and I'm disappointed, right? You know, I don't know if I can watch them anymore and just wait. You know, I keep waiting for this explosion of just, you know, some dominance, you know, not making those blown coverage mistakes, those mental errors. Landon Collins was the best part of watching Washington this past week. I thought he kind of got back into his old self. It was good seeing him, you know, move around and be as active as he was. Washington, I don't know. You know, it almost feels like they need a revamp, man. That Fitzmagic, they're missing it bad on offense. Yeah. And you know, and even defensively, you know, they're playing okay, but that's about all you get. You're just getting okay right now, and that's maybe what the frustrating part is for me.
Yeah.
Sarah, what is up? Before you go, what are the conversations like with Percy right now?
I mean, he's depressed. He know that it shouldn't even be like, you know, the Washington football team, because is it really?
You are so. You said, is it?
Yeah. The Washington team. It's a group. The Washington group of dudes.
Give him my love.
That's it.
Yeah.
Give him my love, please. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's been tuning out on Sundays, getting his tailgate playlist ready, man. So for the Alcorn game, man. Hey, but look at, man. How do you have that defensive line? And you know, I don't know, man. It's just at this point, maybe they waiting, maybe they just nervous that their email is gonna come out with like the Gruden emails or something.
The rest of it, yes, the rest of it.
Hey, man, I don't know what's going on with them. It makes no sense, because at the beginning of the year, I would have thought they were the best team in the East, but it's bad.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, just like I yawn, they're boring. I don't understand.
Yeah.
So it's not for me to understand, because that's not my team, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
I like Ron Rivera, man. It's just, I don't know, man. But like I did say this, like Flores is a hard, edgy, like real. Ron Rivera is he's a nice, like, players coach and this and that.
So you think Tua needs him?
No,
not that team. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't think he's somebody get in your face, curse and all that kind of stuff. You know, Fitzpatrick, he's a get it out the mud type guy. Like, he's never been like the big. So maybe they treating him like he's QB1 when he should be treated like QB3 to piss him off. He need a chip on his shoulder to go out and do what he needs to do. So
maybe, yeah. Well,
get him back. Gotta get him back.
Oh well. This was a good game and a shocker. the Saints over the Bucks 36-27.
Baby
The-
Jesus.
The 2020 Saints were the first team to beat Tom Brady twice in a regular season. Tom Brady has surpassed Drew Brees for the most games with 4+ pass touchdowns since at least 1950. Jamie, this was a good one, and you said play for the
So-
Bucks. What you got?
So I'm gonna put this out here right now. New Orleans is the best team in the NFL without a QB, right? We saw this a little bit last year when they lost Drew. For whatever reason, when they don't have a QB, the rest of that team goes into this hyperactive mode of just Superman play. I mean, you start to see Demario Davis, Malcolm Jenkins. You start to see, Taquan Smith. You start to see all of these cast of characters outside of that QB position lift that team and run with it, right? They accomplished the one thing no one has in the last 2 years, and that is get Tom frustrated. Play around his feet, up in his comfort zone, right in his face, and they got him frustrated, right? Not necessarily frustrated at what was going on, but frustrated he could not get into the game flow, right?
Right.
And to hold the GOAT in that type of position, he was still battling. Don't get me wrong. Now, look,
Wow.
look,
he's a warrior, period.
yeah, he's a warrior. Don't get me wrong. Tom is a warrior, but even more, I think we got a chance to see, Devin Smith, Devin White. I'm sorry, not Devin Smith. Devin White, and even Sue and a lot of these guys started to step up and realize that, hey, Captain is in trouble. No, it's time for us to come to the party. It's time for us to bring some real noise.
Right.
If they weren't playing New Orleans at the time, to be honest with you, they would have probably blown anybody out of the dome, right? But again, I think New Orleans had that repellent from losing Jameis, and having to rely on, Trevor Siemian coming in, and they really stepped it up all the way around and really kind of made it a 1 versus 11-man game. So I had hats off to New Orleans for that one.
Dad, you said you wanted to make some real noise. Dad, you said you wanted to make some real noise.
No.
You want me to?
No,
you want me to?
no, I don't.
You want me
No, I
to?
don't.
Go ahead, Sid.
So
That's
before
my
that
favorite.
game, man, I got on Facebook and pleaded with the New Orleans Saints fans. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I got a hate relationship with New Orleans fans.
Right.
And but since Tom Brady went to the Bucks, I kind of cheer against the Bucks, because I can't ride that Tom Brady bandwagon, right? So I made a plea to the New Orleans Saints fan. I said, hey, y'all know I hate y'all like a marathon, like a distance runner hate a rock in his shoes. But I need y'all to do me this one favor, man. They promised they would, and they did, man. Hey, look
What
at
do you hate New Orleans like what?
like a distance runner hate a rock in his shoes.
That's real hate.
I know, man. It's super hate, man. Hey, but you can't run the ball on New Orleans, right? You can't run the ball on their defense. You really can't run the ball on Tampa defense either. And they get pressure through the middle. And so, that's the only way. The New York Giants, if you go back to when they beat they beat the Patriots 2 times in the Super Bowl, they got pressure up the middle, and then you had Strahan and Pierre-Paul or whoever coming off the ends or whatever. Was that Pierre-Paul? Or was that?
Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
Pierre-Paul. Man, that dude's still in the league.
Still in the league. Look, animal.
Yeah, still getting it. Hey,
How old is he?
I guess he's younger than Brady. I mean, Brady.
Yeah, he's got to be mid-30s, I would think. 34, 35, maybe.
Yeah.
Because
Hey, but
Mike
they
will be
did-
50 on the 21st. You mentioned Strahan, so that was like Mike will be 50 on the 21st.
But yeah, he's probably
He's up there.
he's up there.
Yeah.
So I mean, but it was a good game, man. The Saints are legit. I hated for Jameis, man. That was crazy, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't know. They need to be looking for a quarterback, like for real.
I don't think they do.
I'm
Look,
talking about because they got Taysom behind him. So
you ain't got a QB.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're gonna be running Wildcat this whole time. That's all it is. You're gonna be running Wildcat, you know.
I think the kid I think he's gonna step up and do well for him, man. They just need somebody, you know, for the long run if they're thinking about going to the NFL. I mean to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And look, and I was happy to see, I ain't gonna lie, you know, Mark Ingram coming back to New Orleans, man, was somewhat refreshing, man. He looked good between the tackles to me, and I think that's exactly what Kamara needs at this point is to just have that change up. You know, he was impressive, you know, so hopefully he can stay healthy and keep that going because they need that.
Yeah, they need that bad.
Yeah.
That's true. This was a good one as well. This is my secondary and says team. The Cowboys hold off the Vikings on the road without Dak 20-16. Ezekiel Elliott has become the 5th fastest player to reach 9,000 scrimmage yards in the Super Bowl era. Adam Thielen's score in the first quarter was his 20th receiving touchdown since 2020. Said your boys are 6-1 and one without Dak. It's definitely not a fluke.
Hey, look here, man. Before that game, I just already wrote it off. I was like, hey man, we're gonna lose this one. That's cool because he had Cooper Rush. No, I still don't have faith in him. I saw the game and I still don't believe he can do it again. If you know, so hopefully Dak is coming back. But a lot of that was Minnesota too, man. Kirk Cousins. Right, man. I don't know what they're gonna do with Kirk, man. They got to get him out of there.
He is the model of mediocrity.
The model of mediocrity.
Model of mediocrity. You know what? I don't know if the biggest story is his mediocrity or Zimmer.
Jimmy G?
Yeah, or no, well, not even Jimmy G, but Zimmer. He kind of lost management of the game. I think what did he call those back-to-back timeouts and was like kind of lost in the moment.
Yeah,
which didn't like him. He was a great defensive coordinator and always been in tune with the game. So I'm not sure what was happening with him, and I don't know. You know, I think they're going to have to do something to give Dalvin Cook a compliment to take advantage of those tools that Kirk Cousins got around them. Because right now, dude, I could get back there and probably give them more than what Kurt is.
Yeah, man. Hey, I don't know, man. I'm football wise, I don't know what's going on, man. But I think it's other stuff that's going on with Kirk Cousins to where I don't think his team believe in him. And, you know.
And that makes a difference.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I hate it for Patrick Peterson and all the guys, you know, from LSU that's over there, Justin Jefferson. I'm a Thielen fan because I'm a fan of anybody that comes from nowhere and worked their way to the top. And I like Zimmer. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, Jamie, I guess y'all both kind of talked about that already, huh? Jamie, you did.
Yeah. I got him a little bit. So.
Okay. Last but certainly not least, a heartbreaker for the Giants. Chiefs pulled this one out 2017. Daniel Jones' interception in the first quarter was his first 5th giveaway in his last 3 games. KC has never lost 3 straight home games started by Patrick Mahomes, and week 5 versus Buffalo. Jay?
So
yeah. How they say in church, take your time, Pastor.
Come on, take your time. Take your time. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Let them use you. Let them use you.
What?
You don't even know where to begin with these two.
I mean, so what?
So I don't know. I don't know what's happening with them. You know that it's not a personnel issue, but there has to be some chemistry issues going on inside that locker room. And I'm not sure if it's we've lost a little bit of our edge, or if we're beat up to the point where we're just trying to fake it till we make it. But it's intriguing to me that I don't see that flow like we've been used to seeing, right? You know, I don't see that unwritten communication that they've been so good at for the last few years, kind of coming together. It's almost like, man, they're in 3 and 4 different games at the same time, and you see glimpses of it sometimes, but then other times you're just like, Jesus, where exactly are you guys? I mean, I don't know. It's I think it's a chemistry issue there, but it's
Do you think it could be some egos in there in the locker room? I mean, could that possibly be?
well, I think so. I think that may be part of that chemistry concern is that, you know, because I've got such big egos, everybody's looking for someone else to be the fire starter, right? Somebody's looking for someone else to ignite. And you know, and I think we've all been a part of those teams that you understand how iron sharpens iron, right? You know, and there is no such thing as, you know, I or me. It's all about we. But, you know, and if you got somebody that's not on that page, man, you call them to the carpet. You call them to the carpet. You do it in a way that, you know, you can get that out of your system, and then you patch it up and you move on. I don't see those guys doing it right now, and that you know, I would think that's a red flag, honestly. That I think that they really need to sit back, and maybe an off week will help them kind of cure those ills. But you know, they're going to be in for a very long season, a long disappointing season if they don't figure that out.
Yeah,
That's true.
it started showing. They started showing signs of this last year, even before, you know, the Super Bowl and all that kind of stuff or whatever. They started showing signs of, like, the defense got real weak. You know, they were just outscoring teams to win. And any offense you have, if you go through the NFL, after so many years, teams are going to catch up with it. And you're going to have to adjust. I don't think they've adjusted. Their offense is still the same. They're running the same plays. And people know now. So if you want to sustain, like, long periods of time, Tom Brady and the Patriots, they will beat you. They will run the ball every play in some games. They'll come out and never run the ball in the whole game, man. You know, so they were so multiple on offense. But you know, when you play the Chiefs, you just got to stop Kelsey. You got to stop the cheetah, and, you know, and a little running back out of the backfield with the little passes or whatever. And I think people are onto it right now, and the Chiefs can't out physical you and just take over a game. And I think a soft offense makes a soft defense too.
A tired defense.
Yeah, a tired defense.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Well, guys, that was our last game. But before we get to this or that, I wanted to discuss the Colin Kaepernick documentary, Colin in Black and White. Have either of you seen any of the episodes yet?
Not yet.
I have not seen it yet. Yeah.
Well, I haven't either. However, I've seen there's been mixed views, of course. However, I saw a clip where there is a demonstration of how the NFL chooses players, and it's, you know, it looks like it was similar to slavery.
It is.
So you both, wait a minute. So you both played in the NFL. And I know you haven't seen it, but what are your thoughts on just what I just mentioned, the clip? Said,
I've been saying it for years, man. I went to the combine. They strip you down into your tighties. Yep. You stand up on the stage with all these men.
Put a number on you.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And they got, like, tape measures and stuff, like measuring you all over like you're a specimen. I never forget this, man. I was in a group with this kid named Tony Parrish. I don't know if you remember Tony Parrish.
Yeah.
Tony was a muscle from the top of his head to his baby toe, like one muscle, which is compact, right? And he got up there, man, and everybody just like, ooh, you can see every muscle in his body. And I had to go after him, and I blame him for my draft status, man. I'm for real, man. They was like, ooh, and they got me. They're like, oh.
So when you put your hands out like this,
yeah, what is that?
Like cute.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a muscle.
Yeah. Hey, Hey, but it is though, man. It's the closest thing you can get to being on an auction block as a human.
But
And-
how did that make you feel in that moment? I mean, did you think about that, or was it like, this is an opportunity for me to make money? Because the difference between the slaves and football players, y'all are making millions of dollars versus, they weren't making anything, but still.
Yeah, you're so caught up trying to reach your dreams.
Yeah.
You don't think about it while you're doing it. But like
Right.
once you sit back and you think about your whole process, you're like, dude, that was saw a couple of Roots episodes. You'd be like, man, I remember that.
Wow. That's crazy. Jameion, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm along the same thing. I mean, you're after that's your job interview, right? I mean, that whole combine process. And it's not until years later you think about what exactly is going on. That it's exactly what it is. It's I mean, you're poked, you're prodded, you're measured, you're taking physicals in front of hundreds of people. I mean, you'd be surprised how invasive the process is, right? And even now when you think about it collectively, and I hate to say this, but the whole process itself for the NFL is the only televised process for any of the major sports anymore, right? Because you don't do this for baseball, you don't do this for basketball, you don't show that inside view because people want to see just how remnant this thing is. And I don't think it's because we're thinking about, oh my God, that's slavery and we need to take it back to those days. But I think it's so fascinating as to what they're looking at and how they're evaluating that people don't understand. For the collectively lowest paid athletes of the major sports markets, that you're putting that much more investment or inspection inside the investment, which is amazing, right? So and I think too, when it gets to it, you're really talking about, again, a sport that's 70-75% African American, right? That becomes part of, I think, what people look at and say, what is wrong with this picture? Okay. And when you're inside of it, it's not that you're collectively looking at this and saying, ooh, I'm going to change this. It's part of what has got to happen. Because to be honest with you, from the time you're at 7th grade, 8th grade, all the way up until you get to that level, you're put on that same scale, right? Everybody's gone through the team physicals, everybody's all about running the 40s, bench pressing. It's all about your physical presence, right? And, like said, you look at some of these cats and they are as put together as any human being you've ever seen. But then you got some of these other dudes who may not be as physically impressive, but when you put those pads on, it's a completely different story, right? Yeah. And in my opinion, if we had a way to measure a lot of these guys outside of the workout warriors, you would have a whole different draft class, I think, for the most part.
Wow.
Jerry Jones said it on at the end of Hard Knocks. He was like, we just haven't figured out a way to measure the inner, like we can measure all this physical stuff, but some of these people got something that you can't measure. And that's the ones you almost miss out on, like a Dak Prescott.
Yep. Look, how many people missed out on the GOAT? Tom Brady.
Brady.
Look, we laugh at his combine workout right now.
Yeah.
But who's laughing after all these rings? Oh my God, go back and YouTube it. It's on YouTube. It is one of the worst combine workouts you have ever seen in your life. And you wonder how in the heck did this dude even get invited?
He didn't even get here.
But magic, you cannot measure ice water or dog in a person, so it's different. It's different.
So I don't even really think, especially after doing this documentary, I'm sure Colin really doesn't even want to be back in the league. But just from this clip that we discussed, do you think it's curtains for him in the NFL? If there was any
curtains.
It's been
chance, but I'm saying if there was any type of chance.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's been curtains for him for
a long since when they did that tryout a couple of years ago and he didn't show up at the high school, or was it that? No, really was before that.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this much. I thought it was Kirk. I'm gonna be honest. You know, I'm a Kaepernick fan. I appreciate and respect everything the brother has done. You know, he falls in line with Muhammad and all those guys in terms of, you know, taking his agenda and using his platform for what we know is a very necessary item, and especially in our communities.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest with you, from a career perspective, I thought Colin's career was over with after they did not win that Super Bowl in New Orleans, right? You know, when they lost that Super Bowl, in my opinion, his game had been figured out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was one of these, you know, when we brought in the pistol, everybody got hot on the pistol and everything else. He was one of those guys that we took a scheme and tailor-made a player, and we basically took all advantage that year of him being able to surprise defenses with what he could do physically, right? And it worked out for him. It worked out for him for those 16, 17, 18 games.
Mm-hmm.
After that, when people figured it out, there was no development in his game after that, and so forth. That's where now you get put in this silo, and to say, look, if you can only give me so much, your career is only going to go so far at that point, right? So really, from a career perspective, I don't think he had developed the way he should have, and it's not his fault. I think it's just a matter of where he was at the time.
Yeah. He had after Jim Harbaugh, he had like 2 different offense coordinators in a short period of time. But I thought that maybe he would have been a backup for somebody. But the moment he started kneeling and it blew up, I knew he was never getting back into the NFL for 2 reasons. The owners, you can't have a backup causing that much controversy on your team. First of all, nobody wants that, you know. Secondly, he sued the NFL, right? So he's saying, like, what is his earning potential? You're not going to know until he can't play anymore, until he's aged out. And so he still has another lawsuit that he can go back and get from the NFL, because like they paid him a little bit for the couple of years that he missed, but he's still getting data. And if he would have got back on the team and been like,
it would have helped his case. Yeah.
And so,
you know, you just said something earlier about, it's interesting. You said that you was like, after he kneeled, the other owners knew that was going to be a problem. Like one slave can be a problem, and then all the other owners are like, we got to get this person in check because the rest of them are going to end up being a problem. That's interesting.
It's the same thing they're doing to Cam Newton right now. Cam Newton would be a backup on somebody's team if he didn't come in there dressed like Aunt Esther.
Absolutely.
Goodbye, y'all. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm out of here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can believe it. Yeah.
Like
Aunt Esther, man.
He used to be so freaking hot. I don't know what happened, and I'm really sad about it because I love seeing him come in his suits, but whatever. But look, I need y'all to look at that documentary so we can discuss it next month, because I want to go back to that. I really I want to do it. And then, you know, Jason Whitlock?
Yeah.
We got to discount Jason Whitlock.
He's a joke. He's a joke. He was, you know, talking about it's embarrassing. Whatever. I gotta watch it though.
But look, you know, I'm not going to even say, you know, I'm gonna be, because Jason Whitlock has got a right to his opinion and everything else. I mean, he does. You know, he can say what he wants. I mean, I think it's off center, but I think that's part of the problem that when we talk about Kaepernick. I mean, for me, that era, that stance, that message will constantly be a stain on the NFL forever, right?
Yeah.
As much as I love the game, at that moment, if there was a second league that had started and could have started, it probably would have gained a lot more popularity with me, because I thought that even despite the activity he did, we allowed that conversation to go left field, like really quick, right? And then it became, you know, a matter of villainizing someone who's expressing their right to do these things, right? And, you know, and to me, it was a huge miss on the part of the NFL to really do some very good deeds from a message perspective for our society at that time. But I think really we just took that road of this is disrespectful to our flag, and that's not what it was about.
Well,
not
I mean,
what it's about.
it did, not to cut you off, but it didn't start with him. It started with Chris Jackson, aka
Absolutely.
Mahmoud.
Absolutely. But you see what happened to him.
Yeah, that has not. He didn't play anymore.
No.
He did not play anymore, and so it's whatever. It's we got to really talk about that, but we're gonna move on to you can get with this and you can get with that, and as you know, it's a way for the listeners and myself to get to know you guys, which I already kind of know y'all, but whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll ask a few questions, and you let me know which best fits you. Okay, y'all ready?
Ready?
Yep.
Would you prefer planning or winging it?
Winging it.
What'd you say?
I'm winging it every time.
Wing it.
That means you're a winger. I thought you would be a planner.
I'm a
I knew
winger.
Chad would be a winging it.
I hate. Look, I plan for my day job, but outside of that, nah.
I'm in shock. I was like, oh, Sid gonna wing it, Jay gonna plan it. Okay.
Wing it. Look. When you have a conversation with T, she'll tell you. She's like, I'm a master of winging it now.
Hilarious. Clean as you cook or clean up at the end?
Oh, clean as you cook.
Yeah, I was just taught that though. Like I was always clean up at the end.
No way, because you don't want to do it.
Yeah, and then I saw my aunt. She did it. She was so sweet with it. And I was like, what are you doing?
Because you know what? It's because I mean because after I eat or we didn't ate it. Remember Thanksgiving, and you and the kids would have to be the ones that had to wash dishes.
Yeah.
All of those dishes, I mean, that's trauma to me.
Well, in my house, every day was Thanksgiving. It was 500 people.
Because it's 1,000 of y'all.
Yeah.
So no way. Would you prefer to split the bill or take turns paying?
I'm gonna take turns paying, yeah.
With who?
Well, Jameion always pays for mine.
Yeah, I was just saying, look, I'm a bill guy.
No, I have tried. Said he won't be like, that's okay, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So Jameion, it doesn't matter with who. I mean, with your boys or family or.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna put it this way: if I ever take time to sit down and break bread with someone, I always feel like that. That I want to be as welcoming and cordial and open as I can be. So I'm all about taking it. So
can we go to eat hibachi tomorrow?
Hey, I hate seeing people like pulling out pennies. I hate when people try to pay the exact amount.
Who pulls out pennies, Cedric? You're lying.
Some people, man, they be like, "Oh, what I owe 93 cents." Then
93, yeah.
It be like, dude, we got a tip too. So I just like, don't worry about it. I pay, you pay next time.
Just
whatever.
give me next year. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hilarious.
Or not, or not pay next time. But I don't know.
He said, or not. Jamie, I'm paying next time. I don't care what you say. We're going to Crystals.
Got it.
Sleeping with the bedroom door closed or open?
Ooh. You know what? This is an interesting one because I used to be a bedroom door open until I started closing it. Look, my family and them, they got me paranoid now about sneaking in the middle of the night. And, and plus I rely on my elf on the shelf skills. Being able to catch some folks slipping in the middle of the night. So
hey man, it's temperature dependent on me. Like when I close the door in our room, it gets colder. So in the summers I close the door, in the winters I keep it open.
You got a point. Now I used to, especially when I lived in Dallas, my door was always closed. But the last few years I've had it open, and I don't know why. I don't know why, but you're right. One time I left my door closed. It was wintertime. When I woke up, my equilibrium was off. I was so dizzy. I was sick because I
Yeah.
had the door closed. So you got a point on that. But yeah, I keep it open. I don't know why. I used to like keeping my door closed, but big wedding or small wedding? What did y'all have? I know you had a big wedding, said.
Yeah, well, I was for a no wedding, like just for the peace. But
Don't do her like that.
I know I lost out. So small
Jay?
wedding.
Small wedding, big reception.
Mm.
There you go.
Look, forget the ceremony. Just put all the money in the reception and the party.
That's what
I
I did.
agree. Yeah. Well, now that I'm older, it depends. I don't know. I want a medium. You know what? Actually, small, because now that I'm older now, you realize everybody ain't your friend. And because when I was engaged years ago, my wedding was like it was 24 girls.
In your line, in your
Oh Lord, no shoot, man, that's a
It was, and because I
Soul Train line.
now
you ain't lying.
my cousin actually had 23 girls, and so it was like almost 50 people on the stage. But now that I'm older and my circle is very small, it wouldn't even be half of that. So that's true. This is interesting. Roller coasters or water slides, Jameion?
I'm gonna go water slide. Look, I'm a big boy, and sometimes them twists and turns make me feel a little too real, man.
Baby, I knew you was. That's why I'm laughing. I know. I was like, Jamie gonna say water slides. That's why.
Give me that water slide. Look, I have a chance with it. Them roller
Oh my
coasters.
gosh.
I might do. It's a water slide at Atlantic in the Bahamas. The one where you drop straight down and you really not touching anything until.
Oh.
Yeah. Now that right there is legit. But I'm a roller coaster guy.
Oh no, I don't like roller coasters. I would do a water slide, but all I keep seeing is the one on what's the name of the movie? Eddie Murphy with Refusia. When she was on the water slide, that was too long. Said you didn't. What's the name of the movie? Norbit.
Yeah, Norbit.
That movie tickles me when she was like, "Ma'am, do you have any bottoms on? How you doing?" But that water slide, it looks scary. But I want to do that.
If you ever go, have you been to Atlantis?
No, I haven't.
Oh, go, man! They got one that drops straight down.
No, I don't want to do. I know I don't want to be scared when I do it.
Nah, why do it then? You want?
I want like a old fashioned water slide.
Hey, they say you're reborn in church. That's how you get there. Like you go. You got to go down.
Said, that's not how you get there. Anyway, store-bought cake or homemade cake?
Homemade.
Well, no, you asking me if I'm making it?
You love the cake from Whole Foods.
Look, look, give me a berry chantilly or my new cheesecake I just learned from Cotton Blues Warehouse. Yeah. Ooh.
But I prefer homemade, but I would, what about you, Sid?
Hey, I'm a homemade cake. And I mean, if I ain't making it, if I'm making it, store-bought. But if I ain't got to make
it. Can you bake?
No, I mean, my mom, she kind of taught me how to make the jelly cake. I don't know if you ever had one, man.
I've had that jelly cake.
Wait a minute, let me ask y'all this. My grandmama used to make the jelly cake, but we had to eat it as soon as it came out of the oven because if not, it would be hard as a rock. Did y'all's get hard?
No.
I think that she probably got older.
The longer you let it sit, the
better it is.
Yeah, the better it is.
Because that jelly started going into them layers.
Yes. Luke could bake. She really could bake.
Hey, but look here. I'm gonna send I'm gonna get my aunt to send her Aunt Emma to send her famous pound cake.
Oh.
I gotta get you. I gotta.
Jameion.
Look, you know I'm selfish with
No,
pound
you don't
cakes now.
understand.
Look.
Edward Grace, one of our homeboys, when I say that boy, that's his weakness.
That's his weakness.
On Emma's cakes. When I say it's amazing.
I'm gonna
be like Dave Chappelle. This yellow cake.
See if she can make one. I need to get her numbers, so I'm gonna get one for Jamie and them for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
He gotta taste it. Do you prefer the protagonist or sidekick of a movie? Say it.
Protagonist.
Okay. What's your favorite movie with a protagonist?
I don't know, man. I would say, I don't know. You put me on the spot on this. My favorite movie.
Okay, you can come back.
I just like the good guy, bad guy
Okay.
type.
Mm-hmm. But what about you, Jay? There'd be some good sidekicks though. But what you think, Jay?
So yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go protagonist too. Because Gladiator is one of my all-time favorites. That's like top 2, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just the fact that, look, I wanted to name my son Maximus Decimus Meridius. but I'm always loving a great character story. Like I've always been a Darth Vader fan. Mm-hmm. Didn't know why until I saw the Return of the Sith, and now Anakin Skywalker is a legend in my mind. So I'm always gonna be that good guy, bad guy.
Yeah, I don't like splitting the fame in between. Like I don't like how sidekicks get some of the
how you gonna do them?
Taking the shine.
Yeah, man. Like Robin. Get out of here, Robin.
Get out
we didn't
Robin.
need you anyway.
It's all about Batman.
Yeah, it's all about Batman. So I'm with the.
I like sidekicks sometimes. It depends.
Thelma and Louise or?
No. Okay. So for instance, I'll say Boomerang. Chris Rock was a sidekick in that movie. He was a little sidekick. He'd come back and forth, popping in and with his little jokes. He broke the monotony between the Eddie Murphy being the sexy hot guy and.
But when you put it like that, I was thinking like action movies. So you put it like that.
Well, see, all the movies that Jamie just named, I've never seen any of those.
What?
I don't like those. A guy I used to date.
What? Shut it down.
Gladiator.
Oh,
shut it down.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Look, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I haven't. I've seen what?
Bless your soul.
Like that.
Bless your soul. And just watch Gladiator. Not only did this movie make me cry, but I watched it probably every day for about 6 weeks in a row.
It was a guy that I dated. That's his favorite movie. He like Spartacus and
Spartacus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, Gladiator. You
Fine,
watched it.
Whatever.
Look, I'm telling you, look, I'm almost in tears right now thinking about, Maximus right now. Yeah. Oh my God, man, look, greatest movie of all time. Greatest movie of all time. I
haven't seen the other show that was on HBO that's kind of like that.
Don't say Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what? I'm hanging up.
Yeah, do not hang up.
Cut it off.
No, we got a couple more.
Jesus
both of you.
Christ.
I done watched Game of Thrones all the way through about 20 times.
Oh my God. Look, Daenerys, look, I almost went and got me 3 pet dragons. Just
you know what? That's why I ain't been back to y'all house. The foolishness just like that. He said 3 pet dragons. No, thank you. Whatever. I'll check it out. This is a good one. Would you rather be poor and happy or rich and miserable? Baby, y'all ain't said a word.
I'm gonna say poor and happy. Give it to me.
They was poor and happy.
Look, man. One thing I have learned, man. Look, Man, your happiness is priceless, and being able to sleep
Yes.
at night is the greatest gift, or you have no amount of money that can match your happiness.
That's true.
Man, look, I don't care. Like, give me my babies and a pound cake and Gladiator, and it's on.
You rich
good.
at that point because that
Rich.
pound cake got plenty butter.
Say it.
Hey man, I guess I'm gonna go with rich and
Miserable?
no, and happy because I can't see myself being.
No, you can't mix it up, buddy.
Hey, man, let me see. I guess I'll be
poor and happy or rich and miserable.
well, I am a guy that turned down a 6-figure check because I ain't want to go to jail. So I guess I'll be poor and happy. Yeah.
I like it.
Me too.
I like it.
Yeah.
I was looking at Jessica Simpson today. She's been 4 years sober now. She's a billionaire and was going through so much that she was trying to drink her problems away. So it's a lot of millionaires, and we know that y'all been in the league that are very, very rich, but very miserable and poor on the inside. So
Jessica Simpson, man, I ain't heard that name in so long.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love her. I buy her shoes. So I've always been a fan of hers,
Oh,
even
okay.
at the beginning. Yeah. Okay, last but not least, and I can't stand this game. Braves or the Astros?
I'm with the Braves.
I'm going Astros.
Me too, because I lived
I'm
in Texas.
riding with Dusty.
Yeah, I like Dusty though.
I mean, I'm
but-
not watching any of the games, but I don't like baseball, but I'm going with the Astros because they're Texas.
Well, I'm a Boston Red Sox fan first and foremost, and I'm only that because they got a B on their hat, and the B stands for Bouquet. So,
Look at me. Yeah. Okay, well, guys, it's been real. Thank you so much for joining the show today. Please follow me at She Say Sports on Facebook. She Say Sports 23 on IG, at She Say 23 on Twitter. And please subscribe to our YouTube page, She Say Sports. Well, that's my show for today. Until next time, this is Sonia with She Say Sports. Did y'all say bye?
yeah.
Deuces.